Hey, Miguel, how the heck is it going?
Everything is going good. How are you?
Oh,
How
good,
is our
good, good.
audience?
Oh, well, let's see. How is everybody doing? Yeah, we've got diagnosing data. It's talking about how excited they are for this, and
Oh yeah.
Jack has been looking forward to this. Honestly, I'm quite excited, and I had no idea to get excited for the hat. That is that's fantastic.
Look, it's a good Mexican hat.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I don't have anything in like it to get on board.
It's just to celebrate today's news.
What's today's news?
Well, we are going to introduce multiple good stuff, and I think people are going to be happy with what's coming this coming month.
Oh, did you
A
guys
new
hear that?
visualization. New visualization is coming.
Oh, new visualizations all
Yeah,
today. So we got the big ad for the big day.
yeah. You'll know this one in the coming event. Mo and team are going to present that in the live event in Las Vegas, I believe.
Oh,
And
okay.
but I can tell you that it's going to be a new visual. You're going to be able to open up your visual gallery, and a new friend will be there.
A new
As
friend?
part of your a new visualization, completely new.
Oh, that's awesome. Any other clues on our new friend?
We'll see. You'll see. You have to go to Las Vegas to to see.
Oh, awesome. Are you going to be in Vegas?
No, I want this time. Maybe next year at the next event, I will be there with the community. But this time it was a little bit difficult for me to go.
I understand. Things happen. We can't
Things
always be
happen.
there. It is most likely going to be a super pie chart, is the prediction.
Oh yeah, imagine.
Yeah,
Everybody loves pie charts, so then it should be a pie chart.
it's everybody's favorite visual is the pie chart. So
That's for
um,
sure.
and Henrik is just saying, just show it to us. There's not that many
No, no,
people
no.
on the live stream. It's only like 71 people right now. So that's between our channels. So it's not
No,
huge.
it's a surprise,
All right,
and
all right.
I think you're gonna love it. It
Mm.
was required for the longest time, and now it's gonna be there. So you're gonna be happy.
I'm so excited. I just honestly I can't wait. I'm going to be in Vegas. So if any of you guys are going to head over to Vegas, do look me up. I will be there. I'm speaking on Wednesday afternoon, so come see Embedded Analytics. I'm going to be with Alfar there. There's some NDA stuff that we're going to be breaking out that I can't talk much about until then, but it's going to be good. You can also find me. I'm going to be in the Experts Lounge on every day of the conference. I'll be there speaking. So if you got questions, you just want to hit up and say, hey, I got buttons, I got stickers, I got all sorts of stuff. So I got like a Fabric Friday button. I got a No Dax Columns sticker exclusive for this event. So do hit me up and we'll get you some swag. All right.
You just want to give stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Give away some stuff.
Well, my wife doesn't like when I buy the stuff.
I was going to say that your wife is gonna be super happy.
Get rid of it. Why'd you buy it to keep it? Did you really want 50 stickers sitting in your house? No, yeah. It's like
All right, guys. So look for Chris Warner and make some kind of good thing for his wife.
yes.
All right. So let's talk about the future of data visualizations for this coming semester. Here at Microsoft, the new semester starts in April and ends in September. So the following semester will start in October and then it will end in March. So the things that I'm going to tell you are things that we are planning already. We discussed it as a team. Leaders will review this plan and they are happy with the approach. Things can change anyways, because one thing is having things on paper and discussing the plan. And then the other thing is once we pass the plan to the design team or the engineering, they can find some big problems that it will delay or it might change a little bit the scope of what I'm going to tell you. So don't take what I'm going to share with you like the truth. Just take it slightly, but it will give you an idea where our mindset is and the things that are going to happen in the following months.
Oh, that's fantastic. And as a reminder, though, this is a Q&A session. So, like, if you got questions, Miguel is the man. He's great at answering them. You'll notice I'm solo today, so Christina is off. For those of you who don't know, she was just married, and like just married
Ah,
people like to do just married stuff, and so she's off doing just married stuff. So have fun today.
congratulations for her. Congratulations for
Yes.
her.
Yeah. 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 So
Yeah. So this is Q&A. Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. We will start the conversation and then we will answer them. I'm a friend here. I'm an open book, and I can lose my job because I'm so open. So I'll try to be a little bit reserved, but I'll try to be very transparent and honest on my answers. All right. All right.
oh, that's
So
awesome.
let's start with the new car visual. The new car visual, as you know, is one of the main visuals that we are trying to transform. The goal for this new visual is to replace the current card visual, the multi-row card, and the KPI card. Somehow the gauge as well, partially. So this new car visual went through a transformation, first allowing us to have multiple cars in one single container, and then do not run so many queries, making our reports way faster than before. Then we implemented the reference labels to give some extra indication of what those big numbers represent, or maybe give more context. The next plan in our roadmap for this semester is to do actions. So if you have five different cards and two of them or three of them, you want them to have when somebody clicks on them, you want to go to another page or trigger a bookmark or open a new dashboard. Who knows? Like any action you want in there, we want to allow the card to be triggerable or to be actionable. Um, go ahead, Chris.
That's fantastic. I mean, honestly, taking actions from insights is one of the big key primary things that can really drive value and our ROI. And the more we can reduce the time from insight to action, the better. That's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to move your dashboard into a more proactive state, not just reacting and seeing what's going on in there and see a number being read. This is going to help you to make it more aligning to taking the proper actions. So that's the plan for the new car visual. There are two other reminding milestones for that work, which is allowing the card visual to display a chart, and that chart can be in the background, just like the KPI card, or it can
Mm.
have a defined area where you can see the colo, the value, images, and then a reserved area below or above that you can move to just display any kind of trendings. We are
Well,
still
hang on a
thinking
second.
how we're going
Can
to do
you
that.
show us this? A
Show
mock-up of
the
this?
a mock-up. Yeah, of course. Let me share my screen. I've been sharing this one like a lot. And for those ones that didn't join us in our previous one,
Hmm.
just for you guys to know, all this information will be fully available, publicly available for you to explore. Let me select the. Okay, I hope you are seeing the screen. Or
Let's.
I mean,
There we
Chris is
go.
gonna give us the yeah. Yeah, so all this information, the like these are ideas. These are not features that we are going to launch per se. These are ideas that summarize multiple other ideas along these 9 years of collecting data. So we summarize them into potential items that we want to launch, and all this information will be packed into a dashboard like this one. This is just a mock-up, a dashboard where you can click on every area
Mm.
you want to see, and then you can click like if I want to see the new car visual, which is what I was talking about, you can click in that part, and then you'll see the five epic ideas. The ones that we already did, you will know because we will mark them as already shipped, and then you can click on other ones and see what they do, like what is exactly the idea or the work that we are planning to do, and maybe some dependencies. And if you want to vote to really highly prioritize that work, that dashboard will give you access to click in there, and it will take you to a site where we're going to have voting systems, and then we will continue counting them. Now, for the other two items I was discussing, is one is adding visualizations into your new card, and it
Mm.
will like you can have something like this
Mm.
where you can add trendings and other stuff, and then we will allow you for small multiples. So everything that we just gave you, like the trends, the image, the color, the label, the reference labels, then you can split them into series. This is amazing for scorecard views for executives, and it will make our lives way easier. So that's the plan for the new car visual. But this is the guy that I was talking about, the action stuff. And as you can see, the plan is you can first you should be able. I have no idea if in my mock-up I put it there. Oh yeah, I did. So we're going to give you some kind of icon or something that says from these 10 cards, this one in particular has an action that you can trigger. So it's super easy for someone to understand because maybe you don't need actions for all your cards in the new card visual. You only one or two. So we need to have some kind of differentiator between these ones and the rest. So then people can really go and take actions. Now, to make things a little bit more flexible and more powerful, what we discuss is instead making a single click, because if we make the card a click in action, then you can only have one single action per card. And we, based on our data, people sometimes they need more actions than just one. So we're going to use the new modern tooltip to create actions. So then you can say, hey, maybe this card I want to drill through, but as well, maybe the user wants to go to a particular dashboard. Who knows? And you're going to have that full control.
I mean, honestly, this is absolutely fantastic because I think one of the challenges I've had is I've wanted people to be able to. I thought the idea was take action off of a pop up, but if I could just, the idea being that when you're hovering over something, you want to be able to take a custom action. But this is exactly what we're talking about. This is awesome.
Yeah. So multiple actions will be allowed. And this is going to take me to the next one, the next work that we're going to do this semester. I'm really excited about that one because it was something that I heard from so many customers on the dashboard that I designed. I really need some kind of control in that area, and it's going to bring some of those preview features that we have for the longest time in that list being now GA. So no more. That's another task we have. The core visuals team have the commitment to move away all those preview features from our area and keep it so super light. So let me talk about.
Well, hang on one question. There's a question here from Diagnosing Data. He wants to know, by action, can we tie this to a Power Automate?
No, the actions are going to be available for now will be drill through, page navigation, bookmark, web URLs, and Q&A.
Okay.
So if you can use one of these 5 to trigger that Power Automate, then maybe yes. But those are the first 5 that we will add later on. Once we see the usage and we hear more feedback.
Uh-oh.
But at this moment, we're just going to keep the infrastructure.
Okay, I completely get it. That makes good sense. So if you want people to do more, we go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com and submit that ideas, right?
Yeah. Submit that idea, and then it will be there.
Awesome.
And we will review it. We will classify it. That's what we're doing for all these milestones or epic ideas. We review everything you do or share with us. And I have a system where I can classify and say, hey, this guy is asking about Power Automate and make the cars support that option. So then I will put into that idea you send her, I will classify it as B1, M2, and it will be reserved. So we will know that actions will continue, like it has more potential to grow.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome, and we're seeing people like Miguel. There are people from all over the world that are watching this and excited about this.
My God.
We've got Luis from Brazil. Let us know where you're from in the chat. Would love to see all the different areas of the world that are tuning in and hearing about this. Did you know, Miguel, that the number one country? Can you guess? Guess where the number one country that watches these videos?
Brazil.
Uh, that's Luis's favorite, but no, it's not Brazil. Take a guess.
Another one is in based on population. I'll say India. No.
You are spot on. India has now become the largest consumer of tech videos, at least on my channel. It's India,
Wow.
then U.S., then the Netherlands, and Germany has started to come in there as well. So,
Yeah,
um,
Brazil is super active. Super
yeah,
active. In Latin America, Brazil is the one on top of it. Yeah, good job, guys, in
yeah,
Brazil.
yeah.
My brothers in Brazil. All
Yeah?
right.
Oh, sorry, sorry,
So
sorry.
that's
We didn't mean to take you off track here. Yeah.
no, no, all good. I like to talk about the community too. Yeah, let us know where you come, like where are you from, and yeah, look, New Zealand as well,
Yeah,
Atlanta,
I mean we
Atlanta. I
got people
love the
from
place,
all over the place
all
here.
over the place. Yeah, India, imagine. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. They are always amazing and so active. I can see that in social media. The amount of people that reaches out to me are from India. So that's why it was easy for me to figure that out. Yeah, actions is depending on the modern tooltip. The modern tooltip is a preview feature that has been there for quite few years. And is this semester is part of our transformation. We want them to make it GA. So the default
Mm,
tooltip we have won't be any more default. It will be gone, and then the modern tooltip will take its place, and it will be now the default tooltip. So no more modern tooltip, it will be the default tooltip. And once we have that new modern tooltip into the product, then actions can say, hey, I'm going to use your infrastructure, I'm going to display actions. Now, for the tooltip, it's just more than making the modern tooltip GA. It's way more than that. One of the things we want to do for users that understand what I'm going to say, when we have a column chart and you want to sort the columns or the axis, what we do is we go into the build pane. Then there is at the very bottom of the fields, there is one called tooltip area. So you can just drop and drag multiple fields, and those fields are going to be displayed in the tooltip. However, that's the only way we have to sort other areas. Like if I want to sort my axis, then I drop something in the tooltip and then go to sorting capabilities and then sort by that particular measure that I use in my tooltip. So if I just want to do something for sorting, but I don't want to display them in my tooltip, there is no way. Sorting depends on the tooltip feel well, and that's a broken experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to move tooltips away from the data field pane. I'm sorry, away from the build pane, and we're going to bring it into the format pane. So now, if you have a column chart, you can say imagine I have a stack column chart, and I have three series A, B, and C. With the movement of bringing the tooltip into the format pane, it will allow you to say, for my series A in my stack column chart, I want to see this particular tooltip. But
mm,
for the series B, I want another tooltip, and for series C, I want a page tooltip. So you're gonna have full control in every individual series on what information you want to display. That's the number one. The other one is when we have, again, going back to another Cartesian, I have a line chart. I have it in my x-axis, I have months or years, and I have data labels on, so I can see the sales. Now, my tooltip
mm,
displays the month and displays the sales, but maybe I want to display in the tooltip growth month by month, or I want to see what was the highest products in my tooltip. So I don't want them to see the year and the value because I already see the value in my axis, and I can see already the value in my label. only want to use the tooltip to see that information that is not easy to visualize.
Mm.
And it's impossible right now to remove the month or the year, and it's impossible to remove the value. That is always given. And we have heard multiple users say, hey, how can I remove that information? Now, with like moving the tooltip experience into the format pane, we will give you full control what you want to see, how do you want to see it, how do you want to format it, and that's gonna add that extra value on personalizing the information you want to see in the tooltip.
Mm. That's fantastic. Hey, a question from Diagnosing Data. Will we have the ability to like have paragraphs or line breaks in the tooltip?
Yes, that's going to be the next phase of this new approach. By
Okay.
bringing the settings into the format pane, then we can unify other slides or other, how can I say it, like tooltip types. And there are multiple tooltip types in Power BI: the text tooltip, help tooltip, default tooltip, canvas tooltip, and many ones. One of them is the fact that we want to allow the text tooltip to be part of this new experience of the now modern tooltip, which will allow you to create more like a paragraph, give more context. One good idea, again, this is an idea, remember, there are multiple stuff that we need to think about in order to make it real, and design will help us with that as well. So let me load that page. All right.
Miguel, everyone is just singing the praises in here and bemoaning the old days, or I mean, I guess the current days and the workarounds that we do to achieve
Oh
similar
yeah.
effects. So, you know.
Yeah, so this is what we have. Default tooltip, text tooltip, health tooltip, modern tooltip, page
Mhm.
tooltip. The idea is to just have to default tooltip and page tooltip. If you want to have some kind of text like this, you can create it in a new section that we will add. So yes, you can have a paragraph, you can have a normal tooltip and the serious tooltip all together in actions, all together into one. So yeah.
My money.
Sorry. Keep going.
What the hell was that? You scared me. All right. Yeah. So that is going to be possible. But again, before doing that, we need to bring this control. Like if you, like this is example I was talking about. You don't want to see information that is already visible. You want to remove that, especially if you have labels in each column and the label already has this number. Maybe you just want to keep information that is unique. That's the kind of controls we want to give you, and that's why we are migrating this tooltip into the format pane, from the build pane to the format pane. Now, what happens with sorting? Because sorting was depending on tooltip. Well, sorting is going to have as well its own space in the format pane where you can define really clearly what fields you want to sort your values or your axes or your columns or your legend or whatever you have. So sorting will be now a area with full control and management. You can even say, I want to have sorting capabilities. You know that for sorting, we need to click on the three dots, and then there is a sort option, and then you can see all the sorting fields. But report creators with this new implementation of sorting experiences should be able to say, I want them to sort these five, but I only want my report consumers to see these three. So you are going to be able to block some sorting experiences and then allow your report consumers to change sorting based on your own rules. Tooltip and sorting now are going to be transformed, basically. And this semester is when we are starting that plan. Once we have all this new infrastructure in the format pane, now it's time to go back to the new car visual and implement the actions that we were talking before. So there is a huge dependency between these three.
Hey, a couple questions here. Cody is asking for the tooltip actions. Will it be possible to use the same page for both the tooltip and the drill through page? Currently, you have to create
Yes.
two pages, one for the tooltip and one for the drill.
No, not anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, it will be the same. Yeah.
that's awesome. And then
Yeah.
Adam is asking, will we be able to use calc groups in tooltips or reference labels?
Call groups. What does that mean? I'm not following.
So a calculation group allows you to dynamically assign
Display
values.
multiple series into multiple series.
Yeah. Yes. Can you? It's been blocked in the past from being able to use that in
In the
the
tooltip field,
tooltips.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that one is not part of the scope.
Okay.
First, we're gonna make sure that the functionalities we already support work well, and we give the full flexibility we need. And then once it's there, now we can go back into the areas that we are not supporting right now and we want to support in the future. So again, in the future, once I have the dashboard, you can go into the Epic idea and add a comment, and then we can make sure that we are not
Mm.
forgetting to allow visual calcs to be supported for tooltips. It should because it's a very powerful feature, and the dynamic of their nature is perfect for tooltips. So I do agree. That's a work item we should do definitely.
Awesome. And there is another question from Michael Trenner over on LinkedIn. He's asking, will you add the possibility to use actions also when the page tooltip is used? That would be great.
Yeah.
Ye-
Yes. The plan is for the. Let me show you. I think this
Okay.
is too wild for me to show you, but I think it will give an idea our audience where our mindset is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the idea here is the page tooltip has a big disadvantage, and that's we will never make it interactive. It's not going to happen. If you want certain visualizations in your page to go click on the column and then make things change, it's not going to happen. One of the ideas we have is, all right, so we are unifying these ones, right? But then we're competing against the page tooltip. So we're going to end up with two. And I don't want that. I want one single tooltip. That's my plan, one single tooltip. The plan then to compete against the reminding tooltip is to give this kind of control. So you can have a visual or a bunch of visuals. Like in this case, I have my series because maybe I'm using a line chart like this one. And obviously, I'm going to need something like this. But maybe as well, I would like to switch it and see a tree map. I can expand the tree map and see it in the right side way bigger, and
Mm.
I can play with the series. And whatever I do, it will change my page. I will make it interactive. So this is where yes, we can make it. We can make that view that you're trying to bring into the tooltip interactive, or a map. Imagine that you can display the map and click on the map, and then all the visuals behind will change. That's our. I think it's the last stage. And imagine this is the last of the whole transformation of the tooltip, and right
Mm.
now we are right here on the first one.
Okay,
Well,
so
not the
Luis is
first one. We
saying he
did one.
thinks you'll be done with all this by the end of the semester. Is it going to be a little longer than that, Miguel?
No, way longer, way
Okay.
longer. I think community. Something you need to understand is look how many we have, and that piece that you're craving to have is just this piece, right? Like over here. But there is so much more here. Like we need to do. And going back to the tooltip enhancements, one of the things that I was so excited is because when I create tables, I love tables in matrices. When I create tables and matrices, I like to have control over my tooltip. If I hover on certain column, I would like to see certain information or another column, and it's impossible with our current infrastructure. But moving into the format pane, you're going to be able to now select what kind of tooltip you want for your row headers, what tooltip you want for your values, and what tooltip you want for your columns. And that's another of the things that really excites me. The fact that we are moving to the format pane gives us another opportunity. For example, the sorting that I discussed,
Mm.
the new button slicer. Sometimes I want my buttons to be sorted by the highest amount of cells, or the best performance, or the agent with the best performance. It's hard to do that. So having the sorting as well in the format pane will allow me to have full control how I want to sort my buttons or my list slicers.
That's fantastic. Damu wants to know: is there any way to not display zeros on empty data in drill down in the hierarchy? When you're drilling into a hierarchy, and you like, it'll show you zeros on all sorts of data unless you do something in DAX. Is there any way to visually suppress that?
So no display zeros or empty data in drill down with hierarchy, but drill down with hierarchy on what? Cartesians, slicers, uh,
I think
tables,
it's the drill down in the matrix, right?
the metrics.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a plan that we want to do first on the list slicer,
Hmm.
and that is racked, I think, right? The racked hierarchy. That it will give you control over the parent and the child, and then you can suppress certain aspects like empty areas or blank areas. When you expand or collapse, you won't see them. And we
Okay.
want to first introduce that for the list slicer that is coming as well. We're going to start working on that this semester, and that capability is one of the second part. Like the first part for the list slicer is to give you the kind of same functionality you see on the button slicer. Imagine a list slicer where you can control the expand and collapse icon. You can change the color, the size, the transparency. You can change as well the color, size, and transparency of the selection button. And you can fully customize everything regarding those two items. You can add an image, you can add a value, a call out, a label, a call out. You can make like your area of the button rounded, like almost like a button slicer, but with like more into a list format.
Hmm.
And then once we give you all this flexibility and control for the look and feel, then we're going to give you more functionalities on the rack hierarchy to remove those blanks. And then we're going to give you the functionality to have control over the values. Like you can see how many rows each of these items have and other stuff. Like it's going to be super cool, the slicer. And
Gosh,
then we
that
want
sounds
to bring
awesome.
some of the and then we want to bring some of the functionalities of the chiclet slicer, which is for selection, to be used for the button slicer and the list slicer. Now, multiple people have asked me, hey, what happens here with the button slicer? It says for selection, but it doesn't do what chiclet slicer is doing. And the reason of that is because the force selection we have is not the same one as chiclet. Force selection means for single select, we allow the possibility to do not select anything, and then that will represent selecting all. That was a functionality in the tile slicer that didn't exist. When it was single select, it was always forcing one single selection to be selected. And multiple people said, "Hey, I want to have single selection, but I want to be able to select them all as well." So we allowed unselecting the single select, but then we put a toggle that says for selection that it will never allow you to unselect it. It will do what the toggle slicer is doing. So that was a misunderstanding. People were thinking, because it's the same name as the chiclet slicer, they were thinking that it will behave the same way. If you have two slicers and you move from one country to another one and the cities are not the same, then it will automatically force a selection for the other slicer. So that's a functionality that we don't have, but we are planning to start thinking how can we implement it just like the chiclet slicer and have the same functionality for this in this semester.
I mean, very excited about that enhanced chiclet slicer. And this semester, and to clarify, that's before June, end of June, or is that after June?
Before October.
Before October. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh. All right. So we
Yeah.
got
So
it. What's that?
yeah, so slicers are going to continue. The button slicer, then it will be the list slicer. After we do the list slicer, then we will do the drop down slicer. And that one is excited because our plan is to support copy paste as well. Like people can copy a huge list in Excel or any other platform and then copy the bunch of items into a search box and then they can select them all at once. instead of going one by one, select and paste, and then select them all.
Oh, that has been a huge challenge
Huge.
for people for a long time. At one point, there was a custom visual just for that functionality. I don't know. Is that still a thing? Do people still use that custom visual? Like,
I think so. Yeah,
I was
yeah. It
using
has a
it,
lot
but
of
then it had
usage.
problems, and then yeah. Oh,
Mhm. Yeah. No, and as well, we are going to introduce the text slicer. You can type any information, and we will filter regarding that particular parameter you typed. So the text slicer is going to be a new slicer coming into our gallery. The slices are going to be divided into multiple types. As you know, the people that are report creators, when we create a slicer, we have only one single slicer. And that slicer has multiple types of slicers. So we are not going to do that. We're going to divide them. So one is going to be list, drop down, and button. Another one is going to be text. Another one is going to be sliders. And the other one is going to be calendar, and the
mm,
calendar will contain the before, after, between, and relative. Like we will have them separately to make the experience more comfortable when you need the type of slicer that you have to put in your report.
wow. That's just fantastic, man. And all of this by October.
No, just the list slicer and
Okay.
possibly the text slicer.
All right. All right. All right.
Right?
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
I'm just giving you a little bit of a hint where we're going and
Okay.
why do we want to do that work. The slices will be fully redesigned.
Mm. So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
What about the date slicer?
The day slicer will become the calendar slicer.
Okay.
And the
Tell
calendar
me more.
slicer will have more capabilities. One of them, and the most important one, is that report consumers will have control over the type of the calendar. So they can select if they want to see a before, after, between, or relative,
Mm.
not the report creator. At this moment, the report creator select one of the types, for example, before, and the report consumer is stuck using that before. They cannot say, "Hey, I don't like this one. I would like to show. I would like to select between certain dates." It's not possible. They need to go back to the report creator
Mm.
and ask them if they can replace that slicer. That's not going to happen with the calendar slicer. The calendar slicer will have multiple ways for the consumer to decide the filter experience that they need.
Mm.
And report creators are going to be able to add parameters. Like they can like create some kind of preset selections. Like select me every Monday. Select me the last 3 months of like that kind of parameters is what they are going to be able to auto assign in their system,
Well,
and
that
users
is
can see the
fantastic.
calendar.
That's been a huge problem since like
Yeah.
the dawn of Power BI was okay, dates are good, but I need a parameter and I want to define what the parameter is. Do I get to define it with DAX? Or how do I get to define it?
No, auto selection is coming way later.
Okay,
The
all right.
parameters is just saying select me all Mondays or select me um, from this week to this week, like define parameters, like something that they can that is not dynamic. Auto selection is a large effort that we need to do to
All right.
really make that happen. It's huge.
Fair enough. Hey, Nis is asking, what's the timeline on this?
For the calendar slicer, is I think my lead engineer said that he would like us to, as soon as we finish drop down and list slicer, he would like to continue with the calendar slicer instead of slider. So that
Okay.
means as soon as you see the this new slicer coming into GA, which
Mm-hmm.
is the button, list, and drop down, then is your signal, then we're working already on the calendar slicer. It will take a certain amount of months for you to try the public preview. But first, we won't do any calendar slicer until the list button and drop down are ready.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, like there's an order of operations to all this stuff, so
Yeah,
totally get that. Like, let's do it in the right order. Let's not force something later. That would be great.
and make a disaster.
Yeah. Hey, Cody is asking: is dynamic visual resizing planned? A use case, custom create flyout
Oh,
pane for all other dynamically fit to screen. That was coming. Did I
yeah, yeah,
miss
yeah.
it? Did I dream it? What's going on here?
Yeah, you're missing it and you're dreaming it, and everything is happening there. Dynamic control over the page size is a work item for the report experience team, which I
Okay.
own now, but I need to
Mhm.
define the roadmap for that team.
Mm.
They need to understand the vision. They need to understand what the people is like they were requesting for so many years. The same thing. Remember, for me to set up all these views and the map in a way that is strategic and powerful, it took me months for me to review all that feedback for many years, to engage community representatives, to have like I did a lot of work in that area to really put my team, design team, and engineering team into the same mindset. And that's the
Yeah.
first step. Now I need to do the same thing with the report experience team. I need to convince them that this is going to be our strategy and this is how we're going to do it. So that request that you're asking is one of those items, including having templates, having new layouts, having control over grid lines, enhancing the canvas, the wallpaper. Like there's a lot of things that we need to do, but I think the most important one is to really improve the report experience in general, like using an object, the format pane and the format ribbon in a way that
Mm.
is super flexible to do the most complex actions when we design reports. I was using the new car visual a few weeks ago with the reference labels and all this amazing stuff that we were doing, and I was feeling the pain. I was like moving back and forth, and then I was like, why is this not working? Oh, it's because I forgot to select this option in my drop down, and then going scrolling down and then going up, and that's what I'm suffering. Like the core visuals are going to give you so many functionalities, so
Mm.
many personalization settings, but then the report experience team will have a depth of how can I make all this amount of settings in a pleasant and easy, organized, and understandable way for any kind of users, new users, intermediate users, and expert users to take advantage of them. And that's my challenge. I need to create that map, show them, including the idea you just shared with me on how to resizing the visuals, and then put them on the table and see what the team has to say.
Yeah. No. And please, I'm a big believer in. You said convince the team. I I think it's like iron sharpening iron, right? Like you get to the better solution when you hash it all out, you plan it out, you lay it all out. So I understand that that does take some time. So we're very happy to like let you do what you do. The stuff is going well. I love the plan there. We can be patient. You know, we've waited this long. You know, hate to jump into something, screw it up, and then take another 8 years. So. Um,
Yeah.
Hey, we continue to have a whole bunch of questions here. I'm going to hit on these. Nate and Akil was asking, what about the filter plane pane? Is that the same thing that the report experience there? When can we see
Yeah,
some updates
it's a
there?
mix. It's a mix. With the report experience team and the core visuals team on the same thing. The report experience team owns the panel,
Hmm.
while the core visuals team owns the little cards. So I'm gonna share my screen, Chris.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show
you're back up.
our audience the I hope you bear with me. This is what we have, right? This is the format they now. And one of the main issues, as you know, is people don't use them for multiple situations. One big one to me is
Hmm.
how about if I want to use my sellers, filter something here, but I don't want to change my cards. I only want to change the information of every visualization except my cards. There is no way because the filter pane has three levels. filter on this visual, filter on the entire page, or filter on the entire report. So that's a big problem. Slicers, I can select this slicer and then cancel edit interactions to my KPIs, and now I can select different countries, and it will only affect my visuals. So that's why multiple users prefer using slicers, because you have more control. I can go and set up, hey, this country, I want to affect page 1, 3, 7, and 8, but not the rest. What filters don't. Filters is that page or all pages. Again, very rigid, not flexible, and that's why people move away from using the filter pane. The other main reason is they don't want us to like they don't want to use them because there is not much you can personalize these things. And sometimes when I want to use a filter pane that is black or dark mode, then some texts are black as well, and I cannot even change that text, especially when I hover, I think. And it's impossible to read. And it's a basic functionality that I never understood why was never there. So the fact that there is no enough customization makes them a little bit unreliable. The last one, and the most important of all, is they get feedback from their report consumers, the end users of those reports, that they don't even notice that they can do anything with the filter pane because it feels quite hidden in the report page, and they don't even notice that they can filter something out of that panel. So the idea is for the Canvas team, I'm sorry, for the report experience team and the core visuals team to work together to make a different experience and make the filter pane being part of the page that you can collapse and expand from the inside to the outside or from the inside to within the page, and then have like groups. You can create a group, one group that is headcount, and that group can be expanded and collapsed. And then inside of that group, you can put as many cards as you want, and the cards have to look the same as the new button slicer, the new list slicer, the new calendar slicer. Like the look and feel have to be the same type. Like to show you really quickly here. If we make changes for the list slicer, again, this is an if, right? If we make changes for the list slicer to look like this and the drop down to look like this, then the new card filter should look like that too. So like this. It should look exactly the same. Filter functionality, search functionality, and full personalization on hover, pressing, selected, and all those whistles that we like. It should be the same. Like we want to make it super tough for you to do not use filters. Like you're gonna have to say, hey, why should I use a slicer if it's taking space in my page when the filters can do the same thing? I can select what interactivity I want for each filter. I want to select the pages that I want them to filter, etc. Same thing as a slicer. I don't want to see a big difference between slicers and filters in the future. And that's why we are focusing very closely on the new slicer that we are developing, the button slicer and the list slicer, because they are setting up the foundation of that feature that I just showed you.
Gosh dang, that's awesome. Just so fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. I mean, look at all
Yeah.
the so everyone's blown away. They like that it doesn't take up space. They nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This so again, what's our timeline on something like this? Gorgeous
No
beauty
idea,
right
but
there.
no, the thing is, again, this is a component owned by the report experience team. I need to prioritize this work with them. Like this is something that I need to put in the plan, and they need to look at it, and leaders have to agree that this is the right direction, and then we can move forward. But at this moment, is all ideas. What I can do, what I have more control is on the future of the slicer, which is the foundation of this idea, and maybe that can as well help to convince other stakeholders to invest in that area. And of course, the community has a lot of weight as always, and having your support, your voice, it's critical for me. Like having those ideas, the votes in the future, the ones I launched the last book for you to comment and voting onto these epic ideas that I can present my leaders and say, hey, the community is speaking as well, and they need this kind of functionality. So no idea how long it's gonna take. It goes into steps. And right now, it's not even planning. I still need to set up the roadmap.
Okay, that makes sense, and we can again. This goes under the whole go over to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com and vote this up, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we won't stop. We know that one thing that is part of this work or the filter pane and this amazing idea is let's focus on the slicers. Make sure that those slicers can all those functionalities can be passed to the filter pane. Meanwhile, I get the plan ready. That's something that we're already doing. Don't think that we're just like imagine these things but never doing anything. No, we are already taking actions to make this like this dream a reality.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Um, so that's great. Um, let's see here. We had another question here. Well, yeah, it looks like some people are very pro the filter pane, so that's good. And maybe if we can get this up and these features in place, we could switch over Team No Filter Pane to Team Filter Pane. So,
Yeah,
for those of you who are No Filter Pane, would this do it? We'll see if they answer in chat.
yeah. Yeah, people are against the filter pane, and I understand. If you're using our existing filter pane as a reason to vote, I will say no. I will continue with slicers.
Okay.
But the problem is users have to erase the existing experience and think more like, how about a place where you can put all your slicers, organize them, and do not occupy space in your page with all the nice things that they offer into a filter pane that you can move to the left, to the right, and you can create groupings. So that's something that only by doing crazy bookmarking in your page you can achieve with slicers, and it's not worth it. It's just too much work.
Okay. Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. Um, and I think we're starting to see people. Still no filter pane. All right. Oh, no bookmarks. That's a first I've seen. Wow.
Yeah. I think they are saying no bookmarks of replicating a filter pane within the
Oh, right,
page
right, right,
using
right, right.
bookmarks using slicer. That's the most horrible experience. I was the first one designing that experience because I don't like the filter pane either. And but again, I cannot hate something that only leads a little bit more enhancements to make a powerful feature.
Sure, sure, sure. Oh, if we do that. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, and people are asking for me to like create links and put them in the YouTube video. I'll go ahead and I'll try to get that done. I'll try to add that into the description, but I'll also reply out to social medias where where you might have seen this video out there, like to like get those links so you can all find those as well. So
As a
um,
reference. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good idea.
awesome, awesome, awesome. And we
Any
are
other
Cody is
questions you
saying
have?
he would still he would the new filter pane would help people, especially if you got lots and lots of filters here. That's great.
Oh yeah. Some people what they do because the filter prints are not that powerful is they create a page with 20, 40 filters, and then you filter there, and then you go to the page, and if you want to select something else, you go back to that page. And why when with the filter pane with this expand and collapse groups and expand and collapse card filters, you can put as many as you want. You can organize them. We can give you hints of things that have been selected, and it can make things so much better. And the performance, not having all those slicers in your page will, and having the filter pane will enhance your performance dramatically. So for the ones that are still not filter pane, again, my suggestion is don't think that this is the same filter pane you're experiencing right now. It's another filter pane that is like a slicer area. Imagine it as a slicer area that you can collapse and expand.
That is awesome. And for those of you who are wanting to show your support for no filter pane, you can now head over. We have a new custom T-shirt out on the website for hashtag no filter pain. Show the world that you don't like the filter pain. Buy overpriced merchandise. It's now available, exclusive live from this.
And we'll use how many have like every single one that you sell, it will count into the voting system. So we
Okay.
know that.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So you can buy features in Fabric or in Power BI
No,
by
no.
buying this T-shirt.
Not true. It's a joke.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I
God.
sold 1 million no Dax column T-shirts. We've got to get that.
You're gonna get rich.
Oh gosh. Um, yeah, and so there are the no Dax columns is better than Dax columns T-shirt, as well as the no Dax column T-shirts. You can get those as well, so those are available too. So. Good deal. All right. Well, we are nearly wrapping up here. No, we cannot add DAX columns to the filter pane. Just it's not a feature. No functionalities going forward. That's going to die. Kill it with fire. Miguel, before we go, we are near the end. What can we do to help you? We know about the ideas. Is there anything else we could do to help you in getting efforts moving forward in adoption? What can we do on this?
Well, the best thing you can do, and I'm not kidding, is in LinkedIn we have a channel called PBI Core Visuals, or even just typing the hashtag PBI Core Visuals all together, and then expressing your concerns, your happiness, or whatever you think on the things that we are shipping. We collect the data, we read them, and we share that with our leaders and team, and that motivates our engineers or designers. It motivates our leaders to help us to invest in these areas and move faster. So being vocal in the community is critical. And people don't think that they are only taking advantage of the functionalities, enjoying them, and being quiet. If you really want us to move forward, tell us exactly what is your experience, what areas we can improve, how do you feel with these changes, are we taking the right direction, are we missing capabilities? Be more involved. You are part of the product team. I'm taking serious the interaction between our customers and the product team. You are like, be vocal. That's how you can help me.
I swear, and for those of you, this is like the reason I have not worked on Tableau for well over a decade is because Miguel and people like Miguel on the Power BI team have actively engaged, and not just actively engaged, but listened to and implement based upon our feedback. Now, some of our ideas are going to be spunk and awful, right? Like just horrible. And Miguel is very nice at like at Miguel's very nice when you suggest something horrible. Jay, on the other hand, he will tell you that's a stupid idea and he won't do it, but he'll give you why, right? Like, but very good at taking feedback, and if it's a good idea, implementing that good idea. So please, please, please engage in social media. Put your ideas on the ideas. We'll try to get like links out on these items as well. But get that feedback into them. That is fantastic stuff.
It is. It is.
All right. Well, we are at time. It has been an absolute pleasure, Miguel. Thank you so much. We'll look forward. We'll have to get another one on the calendar as you start to like wind up some other stuff. Can't wait to have you back.
Thank you so much, Chris, for the invitation. Thank you, community, for being active and for all your support.
Awesome. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.